In this problem, we have two functions which are twice differentiable and they are convex, both. And f is an increasing function on top of that. And then we have another function h, which is the composition of these two. We have to prove that this composition under these conditions is convex. Okay, the way to do this is, well, this function is just defined like this. Okay, so we need to calculate the second derivative of this and see what the sign of the derivative is, because that decides whether the function is convex or concave, right? So we take the first derivative of h and we apply the chain rule. So we have f prime of g of x times g prime of x. Okay, that's the application of the chain rule to this function h. But now we have to take a second derivative. So we have to take a further derivative of this expression, and this is a product, right? The first term of the product is a composition, so we have to apply again the chain rule here, and if we do that, we have the derivative of this, which is the second derivative of f of g, and multiply by g prime. And then we have to, this is the derivative of this, and we have to multiply by this, so we have a square here. Plus, and now we have this function, right? Multiplied by the derivative of this, which is the second derivative here. Okay, so we have now an expression of the second derivative of h as a function of the derivatives of the two functions involved in the definition of h, right? And now we can analyze the signs. So, for instance, this sign here is positive because the function is convex, and so is this one. This one here, because the function is convex, right? Now, the function is also increasing, which means that this is positive. And finally, this term here, we don't know anything about the derivative of g, but this is a square number, so it's larger than or equal to 0. So we have the sum of two terms, let's say a and b. b is always positive, this one, and this one is larger than or equal to 0. So the sum of them is always positive, which means that the second derivative of h is positive, or in other words, h is a convex function.